In the quietest part of the whispering woods, where the trees bent slightly as if whispering secrets to the stars, Fifi the little fox was wide awake. She had curled into her favorite mossy spot, but tonight she couldn't sleep. The moon was especially bright. It shimmered across the forest floor like a soft silver blanket, and Fifi's eyes sparkled in its light.
I wonder,
She whispered to herself.
what does the moon see when it looks down at us?
She stood up slowly, wrapped her leafy scarf around her neck, and padded softly out of her den. The night air was cool and smelled like pine needles and starlight. As she walked, Fifi passed the sleepy brook, which gurgled gently in its sleep. She waved to Luna the owl, perched on her usual branch, who gave a soft hum in return. Then she noticed something strange. The trees were glowing a little differently tonight. The light of the moon was dancing, off something shiny deep in the woods. Fifi tilted her head.
That's new.
She followed the light until she reached a clearing she'd never seen before. Right in the center was a large, round, perfectly still puddle. But this wasn't a normal puddle. It shimmered like polished glass. The trees around it didn't sway in the breeze. They stood perfectly still in the reflection. And Fifi saw herself glowing under the moon.
Hello?
She said softly, peering into the surface. The reflection smiled back, but then something magical happened. The reflection blinked. Not Fifi, the other Fifi. The Fifi in the puddle gave a tiny nod. And suddenly the puddle began to ripple. The trees in the reflection swayed, even though the real trees stood still. The moon in the water blinked like a sleepy eye. Then a voice, as soft as mist, rose from the puddle.
This is the moonlight mirror. It shows you more than just your face. It shows you the light inside you.
Fifi gasped softly.
The light inside me?
The puddle glowed brighter, and images began to form in the water. First, she saw herself bringing berries to Hazel the hedgehog when she was sick. Then she saw herself sitting beside the squirrel babies during a storm, telling stories to keep them calm. Then Fifi saw herself sharing her favorite leafy scarf with a shivering rabbit last winter. The mirror sparkled with each memory.
This is your kindness.
The voice said.
This is your light.
Fifi's heart felt warm. She didn't know anyone had noticed those little things. She did them because they felt right. But now she saw that every small act was like a star, gently lighting the forest. Then the mirror shimmered again. This time it showed a scene she didn't expect. Fifi, looking unsure, hiding behind a tree, afraid to join the forest music night.
Oh,
She whispered.
I remember that. I thought maybe I didn't belong there, that I wasn't good enough.
The moonlight dimmed a little in the reflection. Then the voice spoke again.
Even your worries are part of your light, because they help you understand others. Your gentle heart is your gift, Fifi.
Fifi sat quietly beside the moonlight mirror. She didn't speak for a while. She just listened to the quiet forest, the wind in the leaves, the shimmer of moonlight on water.
Thank you.
She finally said,
I didn't know I had so much light.
You do,
the voice replied.
and when you share it, others shine too.
The mirror slowly began to fade back into an ordinary puddle. The wind picked up gently, the trees began to sway again, and the real moon twinkled softly above her. Fifi stood, took a deep breath, and made her way back through the woods. As she walked, she noticed how calm everything felt, how the light really did touch everything: branches, stones, little sleeping mushrooms. And when she reached her den, she smiled. She didn't feel too small anymore. She didn't wonder what the moon saw when it looked down. Now she knew. In her cozy, mossy bed, Fifi curled up and pulled her leafy scarf closer.
Maybe
She whispered,
our kindness is the moon's favorite thing to watch.
and with that warm thought wrapped around her, Fifi closed her eyes and drifted softly into dreams, where her heart glowed as bright as the stars.